the kitchen where we all eat potato and pumpkin, sometimes some meat. Tea is so watery, no sugar at all. Pepper is doughy, stick to my rib, stick to my rib.
Jessie Lloyd had this idea to gather around the country the old mission songs that were written and sung, played and sung on the missions. She came to us with this idea that she had, and I thought, wow, it's amazing nobody had thought of that before, you know, and it's great.
It's been years now since we parted, and the time is drawing nearer.
This is our first project through the foundation, Archie Roach Foundation, working with Jessie, and it's I tell you what, it's a hoot. It's a ripper project, because I suppose not many people know about the missions and the settlements where a lot of Indigenous people were sent. You know, the missions eventually became home and much loved places for people, you know, and it wasn't just your close kin, your first cousins or aunties and uncles, but it was everybody. And that's what the songs, it just conjures up this image of those times.
Watching the Fort here, watching the ships go by.
I grew up in Cairns, up in Queensland there, and we'd go around to family's place, and there'll be the biggest mob. You know, there's no special occasion, just because we can. And so mob would come around, grandparents, uncles, aunties, cousins. You got 500 brothers and sister cousins. And yeah, someone will automatically grab a guitar, an uncle, start strumming away, then everyone starts singing, and ukulele comes out, a piano accordion.
Some of the songs have that shape to them, again, that colour that I remember from the old records that my family used to play, the old Harry Williams songs, the old Dougie Young vinyls that my father used to play constantly growing up. And the other songs are the ones that I remember from when we would go back to the mission. I'm Yorta Yorta, I'm from Cumragunja Mission Station. And we'd always go back to the mission for funerals, for family gatherings, for the Cumragunja walk-on, for all sorts of significant moments throughout my childhood. The mission was a place we went back to. Even though I'd never lived there, it was where we kept coming home to, coming back to country.
It's authentic, it's true to the time. We're trying to keep it true to the time, even coming down to the rhythms and that sort of thing. It's authentic, and that's the beauty of it too. We're trying to keep it as, stark like that.
Watching the Fort here, watching the ships go by.
Music's a very natural way for it to just seep in, and it does. It reaches your heart that much quicker. Really does. I think that's what music does. It sort of, it gets the feet tapping, opens the heart.
I met a lad the other day. His name I do not know. When he asked me where he came from, he answered soft and low. And a half-caste in this town. There's a tribe that doesn't want me, and the white man turns me out. The IREX was a boat that used to take the stolen generation children from the mainland of Queensland over to Palm Island, where my family's from. And it wasn't only the children that were, on the boat taken across, because with Palm Island, a lot of people were sent there or taken away, and, you'd never know if you'd see your family again. And some people didn't. So this is a song about the boat called the IREX. When the IREX sails away across the sea, leaving me so far away, and all my thoughts will be of you. So farewell till we meet again.
Jessie started playing a song called the IREX that she'd learned from her grandmother. And we ended up having a discussion about where these old songs come from that Aboriginal people sing today. And they come from the missions and the reserves and the administered settlements and the campfires of the 20th century. We all learned to sing songs that were composed and written by Aboriginal people, or which we inherited through family lines. And we didn't, as we were growing up, we didn't think about them much, they were just part of the background noise. But she took it further and started looking into it, and so the next step was when she came back to me and said, I'm going to do a project called Mission Songs.
That song is from my grandmother, Almagaya.
My family come from Palm Island, and my grandmother sings a lot of the old songs from when she used to live in the dormitories, probably back in the 30s and the 40s, and my aunties and uncles and everybody sort of still sing it. So us, sort of younger generation, we learnt the songs and didn't really think much of it until I started sharing the songs down here in Melbourne.
I'm gonna build a hut down by the train, just to stop my heart from aching with pain. I'm gonna pitch a tent, I won't have to pay no rent, 'cause I'm gonna build that middle camp again. Monica Whiteman on the slide.
I think there's been a lot of sort of work and research done in the traditional kind of context, and not so much priority done in the mission days where everyone was relocated. There are a couple of songs in the Mission Songs project repertoire that this will be the first time that we're performing them publicly since probably the 1960s. A lot of them are almost been forgotten, and it's just about capturing that right time with the old people and sitting them down and for a couple of days and spending time with them, and you just hear all these old songs and they go, oh, that's right. Oh, that's right, that song, yeah. And I haven't sung that since the 60s, that's and they think, oh yeah, whatever. But for me, that's like, well, that's a new song and that's awesome.
What Jessie's tapped here is, I think, lived traditions of the Aboriginal world. People don't exist as a people without their cultural heritage, without their patrimony, without their traditions. And these are the musical traditions that mean most to, I would say, the larger proportion of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people today.
If all goes to plan, we'll hopefully start seeing a bit more collaboration and equality between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people. And I'm hoping that these songs can do that by sharing them, by inviting and by healing and getting everybody a part of the story and not just having it as, oh, this is ours, you can't have that. These songs are meant to be travelled and shared, and that's why I'm trying to bring them back to life.
The boomerang lives in Australia, which we call our mother's land. My boomerang.